Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your friend Keith and your new friend Chris Guyatt here at Essex Recording Studios. We're live in the control room, and we've just been tracking some bass, right, Chris?
Yeah, we have indeed.
Yeah, man. And so we're gonna talk about Chris today and his killer bass, which is a Dingwall. It's a Dingwall Combustion,
It is indeed.
5-string.
Yep.
This is a Korean version, fanned frets, and the options are insane here. What are these pickups?
Neodymium. Neodymium.
Gotcha,
pickups.
neodymium, and they're from Dingwall. So they're proprietary pickups.
Yeah.
And you can switch from active to passive with the toggle switch there. And then tell us what all these crazy knobs do.
This is actually quite a standard setup for any active bass. So you've got your volume,
Okay.
You got a pickup selector. So you got sort of like the front pickup.
Oh, so it actually switches. It's not like a roll on, roll off. It actually goes.
No.
Okay.
That would be all down here. That's your frequency, selection. So you got.
Gotcha.
Oh, see, the thing is, I never really use these. I play everything like straight up.
There you go. Okay.
Like I just do that kind of thing. But if you want to go for like a B bass kind of sound, like the whole. That kind of vibe.
Cool.
That thing. If you want to go for the sort of like the more sort of like funky kind of tone, you can just go all the way back.
Okay.
Pick up.
The bridges are crazy on this. You have individual bridges per string, essentially, kind of like what you see on the Ibanez high-end SRs. It kind of reminds me of like the SR 5000.
Yeah, well, if you've got a bass like this, which is a extended scale length.
Right, multiple scales, I guess. That's what
basically it's based off of the guy who owns Dingwall, Sheldon. He got the idea from Novak, I think. If you don't know that guy, he's an insane sort of like intelligent guy, and he sort of like nicked the idea from pianos. You know how you look at grand pianos and they've got the bass strings.
You look at the harp, you're right,
kind of thing. So basically, the bass strings will be longer in scale length than the treble strings.
Gotcha.
It's just the whole intonation and the actual tuning of
awesome, man.
Notes. So that low B will actually like be more audible.
Sure.
Because there's more tension on the string rather than being flappy and just sort of like a weird like.
Gotcha.
So the treble strings are normal scale length more or less. But yeah, no, if anything else, like it's just a really comfortable bass. It's just really chill. It's a nice feel for me personally.
Awesome.
This is not going to be for everyone because other bass players will be more wanting that sort of like warmer tone that you get from shorter scale basses.
Sure.
They'll want the P bass sound or something like that. But to me personally, this suits everything I want. It's a very versatile bass. I'm running it through the pedalboard.
Yeah, let's talk about your rig here for a second. Actually, let's talk about some of the projects you've worked on recently in the past couple of years. I know you've worked with James and your last band where you were on. You played Download Festival. That was huge, right? That was actually, I think that was with this band, Aaron Buchanan and the Cult Classics.
That was indeed.
And then you've moved on. Lately, you're working with B. Arnold?
B. Arnold, indeed, yes. She's an Essex-based artist. She's more, I'd say, pop-based.
Okay.
So think like Dua Lipa and Anne-Marie, kind of like type vibes.
I think she's getting radio play on BBC Essex, I think we've heard on Introducing.
Yeah, she's played several times. We did the Introducing stage in July, end of July.
Is that in Brentwood?
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, killer, man.
We did another little festival up in Swanbourne where we supported Scouting for Girls, so that was quite cool.
Okay.
So she's doing quite well at the moment, and her EP is on Spotify. Chances, if you want to go look that up.
B. Arnold, yeah definitely look it up, man. We'll get everybody on that. So now let's talk about your rig, because James cannot stop talking about these the dark glass pedals here.
Yeah.
He loves them. He won't shut up about them. And then what else do we have here?
I just want to quickly unplug.
Yeah, no problem.
Because otherwise you're just going to have me sitting in the corner and doing nothing, and I don't really want to do that.
All right, so let's chat about what we've got here.
So in my personal opinion, you should always start your pedal board off with the most important pedal, which is the tuner.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're not going to be able to tune and sound awful.
Okay.
But that's the TC one.
You got the Polytune. That's the industry standard.
Yeah,
yep. Everybody loves them.
It should be. And then I've got this pedal from a small company based in, I think it's Sheffield.
Okay. So it's a British pedal.
Yep. They're a very
Boutique
small
pedal.
company, Cog Effects. They've taken the Boss OC2 unit, which is a very famous bass pedal, sort of like octave kind of thing going on. They've taken it and cleaned it all up, so now you can actually play beyond the like low G on your E string without it sounding like a puddle of mud.
Gotcha.
And yeah, that's a really cool pedal. That's great. I use that all the time.
Okay.
And then we get to the actual sort of like sound, quote unquote.
Gotcha.
So we've got an analog bass preamp, the Microtubes B7K. I swear by this pedal because it's a lot of bassists that have them nowadays are metal bassists.
Okay.
And they're going for the whole low chuggy kind of thing.
Right.
Which is cool, don't get me wrong. I love that sound. But for me, I play with my fingers a lot of the time. I'm playing a lot of pop.
Okay.
So I use this to clean up my tone and just make my sound stand out a bit more.
Sure.
Again, you can either use it for a dirt or a grunt kind of sound, but for me personally, I love using it as like a preamp, essentially. And then we go from here into, which is now discontinued, the Supersymmetry.
Okay.
They've got a new compressor pedal. This is from Dark Glass again.
Right.
And I think that's called the Luminal.
Okay.
And it's a smaller footprint, but it's essentially the same unit. It's actually got a couple more compression options in it.
Gotcha.
But this one is just quite a basic pedal.
Okay.
And that just compresses the sound, so it will reduce the dynamic range. It will keep the lows sort of like cut off, highs cut off, and you just get this nice squashed, controlled dynamic.
All right.
Signal, which then, because of the dark gloss, it's a distortion unit, so
right.
It's going to be noisy. You're going to get hiss. That goes into the TC Electronics Sentry, which is just noise gate.
Just a noise gate, okay.
It's literally a noise gate. And then that goes all the way into this new pedal, which I've got.
Okay.
So, depending on how you want to say it, Aguila.
Got it.
I say Aguila.
Where are they out of? Where are they from? Is American or?
American.
Yeah.
I think it's California.
Gotcha.
Don't quote me on that, but I think it's California. But recently I got this little Grape Phaser, which is their newest pedal. It's literally a phaser pedal, but it's a really nice sort of like splash of colour, especially if you're doing chords and stuff on the bass. There's been multiple times where, say if you're trying to make a dynamic drop in a song and you've only got yourself and the guitarist, if you're just playing the root notes, you can sometimes just lose a bit of that floatiness.
Okay.
So I like to play chords in those sort of like little parts, and a nice little whack of the phaser pedal will just make that sort of like gel happen within that little part of the song. You almost become a bit of a secondary guitarist.
Okay.
Well, I do. And that's my little unit.
And then right now, so that's your pedal board, and we're coming out of that unit into the API mic pre. Yes. James loves API mic pre's for bass and for drums. Okay. That's so you can see down here we've got all the drums going through the 4 mic pre's down there. So let's plug back in and let's hear you rip on this thing, man. You're coming out of the Barefoot Micro Mains, these 10 grand speakers.
Oh yeah. Oh.
All right.
There we go.
Man, I love the look of this bass. It's awesome. Can you show us the back real fast before we get started?
Yeah, sure. It's just a transparent white look.
Bolt on. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like a swamp ash.
Yeah, I think it's definitely swamp ash.
And you got a nice fat maple neck there, but really thin as far as it's not too thick. So it's wide, but it's not very thick at all, actually.
No, it's quite it's a very strange feel.
And you got Hipshot Tuners.
Oh yeah, Hipshots, because they're nice and light. It just sort of like keeps the weight of the body like evenly distributed.
Yeah.
So if I'm playing and I've got my strap on and blah blah blah, it's not gonna
Not gonna dive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to try and headbutt the floor, which is quite nice. But yeah. What kind of thing are you looking for?
Anything, man. Anything that you like to play or that you think shows off the bass pretty well?
Should we do the Genty thing?
Yeah, go for it.
I'll do that on the lower strings because it's always fun to hear a low string.
Yeah. Killer, man.
Yeah, nice.
And how do you like it with the fanned frets? How are you managing with that? Did that take any getting used to when you first started, or?
I think it took me 5 minutes
Nice.
to get used to, but then I've got naturally quite fanned hands.
Gotcha.
Where if I just put that across there, it sits quite evenly across the fan spread, and I can do that quite easy. It's not hard for me.
Wow.
So I don't know. Like, I don't sit there and I don't try and overcomplicate my playing.
Sure.
So when it came to playing a bass like this, I just wanted it because it looked a bit odd.
Oh, it looks great, man. It looks killer.
It's fun. That's what I can say most of all about it. And the guys at Dingwall are all genuinely lovely people.
It's a Canadian company, you were saying, right? Yeah.
Sheldon, who owns it, is one of the nicest guys I've ever met in the industry. He's always got time for you, and the amount of times I've met him and he's remembered who I am.
Nice.
He's oh, how are you doing? I'm not going to do a Canadian accent.
You just say A at the end. That's it, man.
But yeah, no, he's a lovely guy. Doug at Dark Glass as well, he's a lovely guy. He's actually a really, really cool, I can't say it. He's a really good, business-minded guy.
Entrepreneur.
So
that's the word.
That's the word. But yeah, everyone I've met and who I talk to. Oh, and big shout out to my endorsers.
Yes.
Pacing fan bass strings.
Okay.
So because it's an extended scale length.
Yes.
I need specialist strings.
And do they sell packs of strings for multi-scale instruments like this, or do you have to order them individually? How does that even work? I never thought about that.
Yeah, no, they do packs. So for mine, it's just a standard gauge. It's 130 to a 45.
Cool.
These are nickel strings. You can get them in stainless steel. All the ranges.
All the ranges,
all
yeah.
The ranges. But I play nickel.
Gotcha.
Just because I feel like stainless steel is a bit too harsh.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Sometimes, and especially because most of the time I'm playing fingerstyle anyway, and that's quite a bright tone.
Sure.
So for me, if I was to get stainless steel, I'd probably need to be playing in a metal band all the time.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Payson is a fantastic guy. He was the first guy to endorse me, and he's always had time for me. And yeah, he's just a lovely chap. But everyone I've talked to in the industry has been great.
What are those awesome cases you're endorsed by? Are they the Dixon cases or the?
Yeah, the Scott Dixon cases. They're quite cool.
They're super awesome. Yeah.
Oh yeah, very interesting look.
Kind of like a coffin, like a.
Yeah. Big stainless steel coffin.
Yeah. Iron Maiden. It's like a big
cool.
torture device, you know.
It does look it. But, yeah, they've kept my basses nice and safe when we go off to do any festivals or any shows in London, because there's nothing more scary than thinking about leaving your instrument in just a soft case in a London venue. It's oh no.
So what do you have coming up on your schedule, over the next few months, man, leading into Christmas time and?
The next few months, myself and Beth, we've got quite a few gigs lined up. October, and then we're going to be trying to sort out something. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but myself and Beth's band are trying to organise some live versions
Okay.
of her songs.
Gotcha.
I'll say that much.
All right.
So we've got quite a lot of stuff behind the scenes, like trying to be worked out for her.
Awesome, man.
And then apart from that, there's a couple of things that I'm going to try and sort out for next year, and then hopefully trying to help out a lot more around the studio here.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, that's about me.
So if people want to follow you, what's your social media? You know, if they want you to lay down a track for one of their projects or something, that's something you can do for them, right?
Yeah, for sure. If like people want me to track any bass for them, I've got my own little setup back at home, so I can do that myself.
Send over the stem files, and then they can go.
Yeah, whatever helps them out. Most of the time, you can find me at most of my socials, so they're all underneath the same handle, which is Caffeine Bassist. Caffeine
like coffee, right?
Yeah.
Caffeine Bassist. Yes. So Instagram, it's at Caffeine Bassist.
Yep.
Twitter at Caffeine Bassist. And then do you have a page on Facebook?
I do. That's just Chris Guyatt Bassist.
Chris Guyatt Bassist.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody go to Facebook, give Chris a big fat like. Go to Instagram and be one of his many fans. We are. And go tweet and harass him on Twitter.
Please do.
Yes. Cool. Well, this has been Chris Guyatt and your buddy Keith here at Essex Recording Studios. Send us off, man. Maybe you can do the Seinfeld. Can you do Seinfeld? Bow, bow, bow. Right on. That's good enough, man. Cool. We'll see you all later. Bye.